Yes, live streamed. I gotcha. Copying link. Do, 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 do.
There we go. What's up, dark judges, desperados, and dudes in dick-shaped helmets? You're listening to Cursed Earth Radio, the one and only podcast bringing dread to the dreadless.
Broadcasting outside the walls of Mega City 1 across the Black Atlantic in North America. I'm Cool Johnny Cool.
And this is Heavy Metal Kid, and we are back for our third or fourth week in a row live at the exact same time. God damn it, Cool Johnny Cool. I would say this is now a trend here on Cursed Earth Radio that we are where we say we're going to be at the time we say we're going to be there.
Wait, you know damn well it takes like 54 days for something to become a habit.
That's a number that has been widely disputed throughout time. There was your 28 days, your 54 days. I'm going to say 3 consecutive episodes equals a pattern.
Stop it.
And here we are.
You're
once
grasping
again.
at short and curlies.
Here we go. 5 seconds into our podcast, and you're already talking about pubic hair. Yet somehow I'm the guy that gets blamed for talking about Judge Dredd's pubes.
Look, I got it by osmosis. I wasn't like this before I started podcasting with you.
There's no proof of that out there on the internet anywhere, sir. So as you know, in 2022, if you can't substantiate something with proof on the internet, it's not real.
If you do a thing and don't post about it on the internet, did it ever even happen?
I know, exactly. And future generations will hear stories about how prior to the birth of the internet, people didn't help homeless people. They didn't engage in acts of random kindness because, well, there's no footage of it happening anywhere.
Why would you do something nice for somebody if you couldn't film it and put it on your Facebook page to show people what a great and altruistic person you is?
I know. And that's what we're all about here.
No.
We do this podcast every week just to show you how great and altruistic we are with this free podcast.
Oh, we've been fucking up then.
I mean, a free podcast, you can't really go wrong there. You know what I'm saying?
It's actually costing us money.
That is true. My dad always used to say, he always used to have this saying whenever we would get something free and it was real shitty, he would always be like, well, the price was right,
Our podcast meets your budget.
Yeah. So what's going on in the world of Judge Dredd news out there?
Well, we should probably tell them what Prog we're doing first before we get into that.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
We're doing Prog 2266. We got the wrap up of Judge Dredd's Working Girl, part 4 or 5 of Proteus Feck's Desire Pass. The Order, there's Space Whales and Kingmaker. Everybody's got glowing armor. And it's just the back third or fifth, 3/5 of this Prog just kind of fall apart. Anyway, we do have 2. We're leading with our strengths. And then we're just hoping nobody notices the back third or back 3/5.
It's like this. I'm not shitting all over this Prog before we get into the official shitting all over this Prog, but I will say it's kind of like one of those old school Halloween costumes that we all used to get, where in the front you're He-Man, and in the back it's just a little rubber band holding your mask on.
Little schmuck.
Yeah. And the SJS is here in the chat, by the way, Johnny, so be on your best behavior.
Well, hey, I don't know if you noticed when I put up the official advertisement of our weekly live happenings, I posted it on our Instagram page, and we got a lot of traffic. People thought we were dead. People thought the podcast was over. I got yelled at for not keeping up with the Facebook and or the Instagram page. It's fun interacting with our fans, especially when they're angry and they find out we've been alive this whole time.
Yeah, it's funny. It turns out that one big part of having a podcast that people actually go to and listen to is letting them know that it exists again.
Yeah, we're bad at this. It's not doesn't exist again. It never stopped existing. It moved and didn't leave a forwarding address.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. It's like the dad that went out for cigarettes. He doesn't disappear. He just goes somewhere else.
We've been here, though. I had to tell so many people, nope, we've been here the whole time. whole time. We're just bad at this. It's our fault. Our
It's
fault.
nice
Please.
to know that people gave a shit. And the best part is they'll be like, great, glad you're back. And we're like, all right, cool. Well, since you're in the UK, we go live at 6 a.m. your time. And they're like, you bastards.
We're so sorry. Look, if you want us on your time schedule, have us over. Send us some tickets. We're doing our best.
I don't know that we could even go over at this point, man. Uncle Omicron has the say in that one.
Man, even if there wasn't, I don't know if I'd want Americans in my country if I wasn't American. We tend to just wreck shit. We're not good. We're not good house guests.
Man, I'll tell you, I feel like you and I both kind of, experienced the pandemic and all that it stole from us, the bastard pandemic. But sometimes when you mention going over there, I do forget. I'm like, man, pre-pandemic, I had tickets to Lawless and plans to go there. And we're going to do the Judge Dredd, whatever the fuck that was going to be a pop-up event.
Oh, the experience thing.
Yeah. Instead, we got the Judge Dredd experience we never wanted. We got the fucking wall built around our country. We got the
We're
virus.
living it. What did you see?
Got
they
the
got
Church of Sympology running around out here.
Oh God, do we ever? No, they got an exhibit for Joe recently. I forget what it was. Let me see. Give me a second.
It was the Judge Dredd pubic hair
through
the ages exhibition.
Did you say pubic hair for the ages?
Yeah.
This is why we can't have nice things. No, they had an exhibit where it was the 45th anniversary of Judge Dredd at the Cartoon Museum last week. And John Burtis, who we initially butted heads with because we were calling ourselves a Progcast and we unknowingly infringed.
That's right.
He was so cool about that. So if you're a new listener and haven't heard about that, it happened. It was a thing. Maybe someday it'll be in the archive. But he posted some photos. They had all kinds of original art, all kinds of displays, and all I could do was sit here in America and go, damn it.
Yeah. So the chat says it's a 54th year anniversary celebration. 54 years of Dredd, man. That's crazy.
I'm on 42 years of Dredd, existential. But hey, I did see the little Kashi Judge Dredd figure that I posted about, I think it was week before last. The guy, the person who is making it, because I don't know the gender, the person who's making it is actually selling it. It's $18.
Oh.
And I will put a link up on the Facebook page. There's, I think, 3 or 4 different colorways for it. So you can get some cool itty bitty Judge Dredd for $18, and it's comes with this lawgiver, and it's a neat little kitschy piece of justice.
Man, for $18, I feel like we all need one. I mean, honestly, like that's a bootleg toy stuff. That stuff is not cheap to make.
No, not at all. And it is pretty tiny. So no, you can't see the pubes. So I'm sorry.
If you could have any 2000 AD, like, outside of Judge Dredd, or maybe a character that hasn't been, what would you want? Like, if you're getting a new action figure or a new statue from 2000 AD, what would you want?
You're asking, you know the answer to this. It's Vex.
Yeah. It is Vex.
Followed by Midnight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it Vex or is it Midnight? Because for me, Midnight is Proteus Vex. That's my favorite part.
They just do a statue of both of them, like with Midnight going full sandworm.
Yeah.
And Vex standing there being Vex.
Yeah. Did you see I've gone about trying to get all the big Judge Dredd statues. I'm missing I'm missing the Q Collectibles one, but they also did a Slain statue from Sideshow Toys, and it's fucking awesome. If I were more of a Slain fan, and I'm probably not a Slain fan because I haven't read a lot of Slain, but that would be, I mean, that's the one, man. It's so super cool looking, but I never see photos of it. It's almost like they dropped it, and I don't know if maybe, it just wasn't a big hit or whatever, but man, Sideshow did a nice looking Slain out there.
Well, that last Slain story really didn't help to endear you to the cause of Slain.
True. Yeah. That's not my Slain. That's not the one. That's not the one that hooks me, but I know which one I need to read. I have it. I have the Horned God. That's kind of goes without saying that I probably shouldn't have made it this far without reading slain when I read, I've read the original Hookjaw. I probably chose poorly on that one.
You went all in on the Claw and Mr. Gun Nipples.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Man, I can't get enough of that shock, but there's very little, so that makes sense.
You got all they have of that shock.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, man, do you have the address, the place where people can go and purchase that little Keshi figure? Or
yeah, I will. I'm gonna actually put it on the Facebook page here as we're doing this.
Was there a point, and I could be wrong, but I think in our 4 a.m. Sheets gas station food runs after shows, you've told me that at some point you were collecting those little figures, like the muscle, muscle version.
Yeah. I really wanted to get back into it because you get like 4 or 5 of them per package, where you got the garbage can that had a bunch of them. They were just itty bitty things that you could collect and really serve no purpose. And I wanted to get back into them, but my God, per figure, it's ridiculously expensive.
Yeah. I would love to know, just maybe people can throw it out in the chat who are sitting with us here and listen. I want to know what else people collect, because what we found is, like, as Judge Dredd fans, what we tend to be, most of us, at least those here in the United States, we are archaeologists. We have to dig for our hobbies. We're not satisfied with what we can get on the newsstand. That's what brings most of us to Dredd, is we want the niche stuff. And so, as that is with Judge Dredd, so is it with so many of our other hobbies, yours and mine both. So I'd be interested to know what else other people in the chat are into. Someone does say
bad podcasts.
Daniel in the chat says that he would like to see a Rogue Trooper 28 millimeter, but not by Warlord Games. Yeah. Yeah, because I guess we're not going to see that, right? Or did they?
That really, I know sucks.
I want to say there was like a Rogue Trooper thing in the works, but I wonder if that wasn't something maybe that died with Warlord, or with the license, because COVID really fucked it up, man. COVID fucked a lot of things up for that.
But it was so well received. I can't imagine 2008 EV looking at that whole situation going, people were really embracing the game, and we understand there was a pandemic, so they should have just give them another round, one that wasn't impacted by pandemic, which slaughtered the ability to get together in groups and play this game, and global shipping. Why pull the plug?
Have a do-over, folks.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. It was fun, easy to pick up. They just did Dirty Frank. I mean, Walter had to be on the horizon.
I think they might have done a Walter. No. Someone else did like a.
Yeah, I was going to say that was either another party or from the previous tabletop game.
Yeah. I not surprisingly, Paul in the chat says that I used to be a Warhammer fan. So
we've been down that road.
Yeah. It's that's an all or nothing road, man. If you go into Warhammer territory, you don't do anything else, because it becomes, it's expensive, and you kind of got to go hard into that game. I'm a big fan myself, as is what's Henry Cavill apparently Henry Cavill's a big Warhammer fan. It makes sense because he's built like a space marine.
And Vin Diesel is also a tabletop fan. Sorry, it was just another muscle guy I could think of that was into nerd stuff. It's always nice when the jocks cross over into Nerd Town. Yeah,
for sure. Usually it's to beat up the nerds, but not that time.
Nerds.
Yo, so let's get into this Prog here. What do you think?
Don't you tell me what to do. Yeah, man, this back 3/5 of this one, not ringing my bell. Not doing it for me, brother.
Oh, well, we did get a very cool looking cover this week. That's for sure.
Yeah, I like the giant Buster sword and the glowy armor. We got Jaeger coming back.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? I'm not dying for Jaeger to come back, but I also don't not enjoy Jaeger. So I'm kind of 50-50 on that one.
I like the Rogue Trooper universe. I'm not hot like, holy shit, Jaeger's coming back. Like, if it was the foe, I would have been, going off But I enjoyed Jaeger. I really like the art, so I'm looking forward to that coming back. So we know that's on deck. Feral and Foe Part 3 is on deck, and a Hershey that you're able to identify visually is coming back.
Yeah.
So
it's really important. That's really important in my world. So,
oh shit! Wait. There is one important thing, Dredd news, that happened today, and I saw this on our mutual friend Chelsea's Facebook feed. Today marks the 42nd anniversary of the first appearance of Sydney.
Oh wow, man! So that's why we're getting that Dredd versus Death essentials in the store right now in the 2080 digital web shop.
Well, that and that's bread and butter. That's an easy. We can always sell this title.
Yeah,
you don't see them repackaging the Mega City Rackets.
I want Ape Town. That's what I want.
Yeah, but you want it for all the wrong reasons.
Stop it. Okay, so going back into Judge Dredd Working Girl Part 4, this was as it should be. This was the most satisfying issue in this run. This was a perfect. This is great. The way they ended this was fantastic. As you and I had predicted, they're working towards, this character is going to be with us for a while.
Given her circumstances, and she's up against a lot, nothing's going her way. You expect her to have to do some stuff, the unsavory stuff, to survive, but she straight up murdered Sharky.
She did. Yes, she did.
Straight up killed him. I was kind of taken aback. I was like, maybe they'll have a tussle and she'll try to save him as he falls. No, she pushed him right off his board.
Man, yeah, that was shocking to me too, because we're trying to. We're even at the end, we're sympathetic with her. Like, even after cold-blooded murder, I'm sympathetic to her plight. She's a single mom. She's out here trying. It's the equivalent to being a single mom stripper. You're putting yourself around unsavory people. You're doing things you don't want to do for money. But yeah, did she turn a corner there, or was she really in this position of like, Sharky would have had her die?
I think it's 50-50. She definitely felt that, but she also felt she could get away with one at this point, because there was so much going on. Oops. Oh, I don't know how that happened, officer. The judges are going to kill her regardless. Joe is going for lethal force at this point, and she uses Sharky to get away, because pushing him off and the judge is lighting him up turns him into a bomb, and it destroys the roadway. So she's able to get clear of the judges and make her delivery, and unwittingly and unwillingly become a courier for the mafia.
Yeah, this is the classic setup that usually yields great results, which is you give us a character that we know is like sort of in an unfair situation where they're not trying to do criminal activity, or they're pushed into it. So now you've got that gray area where they don't even want to be breaking the law. And then you put Joe after them. And the thing is, we know that Joe's not going to see any black or white. He's not going to give anybody any chances. So we end up rooting for this character to survive. But then the threat is always, we know that 2000 AD very, very often lets us see a good character get a really, really bad end, Yeah.
This isn't a great ending, but it's better than it could have been.
At least she got away.
Yeah.
And what do we know, Johnny, about the what did this robot guy say? The mask of 23 faces. What do we know about that?
I don't know anything about that. I will be perfectly honest with you. I will let the chat handle that, because I like it when they do our job for us.
Yes, I'm sure Al will be on it tomorrow. I fucking certainly hope so.
I love that day after the podcast when I see the live link start getting lit up with facts.
Yeah, yeah. So here's a question. Okay.
Yes.
I know what your answer is going to be. I know what my answer is going to be, but I'm going to ask you anyway. And maybe if you're in the chat, put it out there too. So, okay, our lady here, whose name I've already forgotten.
Mona
the courier. So if it came down to a scenario where Judge Dredd is chasing Mona the courier and Noam Chomsky, and he's got to go take one down, Who gets to live?
Chimsky.
Yeah, Chimsky. Chimsky is.
Chimsky would probably do a better job raising her kid too. I mean, I'm just going to put that out there.
That's true. Yeah, it goes to show you that being a good-looking, propeller-hatted, beautiful soul of a chimpanzee beats out on single mother every single time here at Cursed Earth Radio.
I do think Chimsky would try to save her, do everything he possibly could, so Joe doesn't kill her. But I think, if Joe's got to take one of them, it's her.
Chimsky's absolutely one of the greatest Dredd characters that's even been introduced into the world.
Mr. Grofaz, maybe not so much.
He's a wonderful man. He's just a child's entertainment person, Johnny.
He's Hitler. He's Hitler.
He's a balloon, Mr. Balloon Clown Hitler. Yeah. The chat unequivocally agrees that Chimsky gets to live. Sorry, Mona.
Sorry. So let it be written. So let it be done.
Yeah.
To this day, I will show people that final panel of Three Kings and just go, explain this without any frame of reference. And they'll just stare at me going, why are you reading comic books with Hitler in them?
Right. It's such a ballsy move in 2020, 2022, in between those two to put a good-hearted Hitler analog in your comic. But I don't know, man. They just skated right by on it, and no harm, no foul, no problem.
Where's our Mr. Grofaz figure from?
I know.
Big Mr. Grofaz Chet Chimsky statue.
Wouldn't that be the thing no one ever saw coming? Like, hey, Sideshow Toys announces a 1/4 scale Mr. Grofaz, and the whole fandom is confused.
Oh my God. We could do a whole video for YouTube on your Mr. Grofaz Chet Chimsky statue.
So moving on to Proteus Vex. This is the best looking first page of a Proteus Vex ever.
Man, I'm scared for where we're going right now, because so many people have said, if I knew what Vex was about to do, I would have killed him before he left.
Yeah.
Even Coandrum says it in this chapter.
They highlight it really well too by saying, she later stated that, it was the most exciting, adventurous period in her entire life, but she still would have killed him.
So he's gonna lay bare truths that are gonna take everybody down, isn't he? He has hit that point of fuck it, where he's just taken everybody down.
He has nothing left to lose. I feel like Proteus Vex is one of these characters where I don't know how much the Flesh Pilot took away, but there's still a lot in there. And I think it's like one of those things where he's going to try and make right the past for himself, regardless of what the consequences are for anybody else.
And apparently a lot of people were unhappy with him doing that.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to be a running theme for the end of each chapter now. That somebody's going to say, if I knew what he was about to do, I would have killed him myself every time. Yeah.
So right now we're at part 5. Are we getting 12? Is this in 12 parts? Is that what the other ones each were, 12?
This could go on in every prog the whole year, and I would be happy.
Yeah, well, I'm over here, there's this ticking clock element of, okay, like Proteus Vex is still fucking around, and Midnight Indicating Shame, our favorite character, is out here struggling on her own in some horrible prison. And I'm not okay with that, Johnny.
Nor am I. I keep every week, I hope that we get resolution to that, where Proteus Vex and co come in and do the big heroic Indiana Jones rescue and save our favorite girl thing.
And you know what's going to happen is Midnight Indicating Shame is not going to be happy that Coandrum is at all involved. She's not going to be happy about this.
No, Proteus Vex is her hunk of man meat.
she's got like a cute little sister crush on Proteus Vex, and it's not going to be okay.
But
that's
has
the dynamic.
So
she does. Coandrum's got ass. That's the That's the hashtag.
So I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna make it a point to post on our Instagram page just so I can tag that.
Yes, please do. This first page though, I got to go back to it. Like, I love the composition of it. I love the color. I love this big robot snail motherfucker that he's hanging with. This is such
he looks like he came out of Mystery Science Theater 3000. I love it.
Yeah, man, I love everything. It kind of reminds me of this terrible movie called Death Machine that I was always a big fan of. I love the Proteus Vex logo font that looks like neon signage. This first page is just beautiful. It's perfect.
And you know how you and I have always talked about, we wondered aloud how the rest of the 2000 AD fandom was receiving Proteus Vex. Michael Carroll posted 3 days ago a link to thegamer.com, and they had a glowing review of Proteus Vex.
Cool. Yeah, it's good to know because we're just on such a fucking island out here, you know?
But it's the best island to be on.
It's true. Yeah. So we have an alien in here too. We got to mention this. There's definitely an alien here that looks like a scrotum.
Oh, the gray thing?
Yeah.
I looked at that so many times. I couldn't figure out which way was up and what it was doing. Definitely gonna have to ask Jake about that whenever. Maybe we should hold the Vex interview till this whole arc is done. That way we can talk about the whole damn thing.
I mean, it would be nice to get together and be able to ask all the questions because we're gonna have a lot of questions. Yeah. I have a lot of questions already.
If we get together with them right now, I'm just gonna spend the whole time going, tell me midnight's okay. Tell me midnight's okay. Tell me. I'm going to abuse what little privilege I have right now and bother you to tell me what's happening before it happens.
I say that for the people and for you can't break up those two unless you're going hard, unless you're going to go hard and make us cry at the very end. And, I honestly, and I hope they don't do this either, but I could definitely speculate that rather than kill Midnight, they would let Vex sacrifice himself. He's the kind of character that if he died, it would be one of those things where you're like, you know what? He went out good. He went out the way he needed to go out. Like, what kind of piece is out there for Proteus Vex? We still don't know enough about Proteus Vex at this point. You know what I mean? We know kind of how the mechanics of Proteus Vex works. And, but I feel like, and maybe he's always going to stay like this. He's that character that is still kind of an enigma, and hopefully the book of Boba Fett, Proteus Vex, and all of a sudden he's just a big fat bloboid man running around after being such a badass in all of this entire series. We don't want him to come out and, we get to see him have his pet hamster or something.
Well, Proteus probably doesn't get to retire. He definitely doesn't have a retirement plan. But it's the same principle as is with like horror, like your horror villains. The more you know about something, the less scared you are of it in that situation. The more we know about Proteus, he may be less interesting because once you know everything about something, you're going to stop wanting to look into it. I love that we don't have all the pieces to his puzzle. And I hope, honestly, we never get them because we'll always have something to talk about. It's like the Blade Runner argument, whether Deckard was a replicant or not. And then Ridley Scott just shit all over that.
Or he just said what he always knew is his truth, but he forgot that sometimes once it's been out there for that long, it becomes something of the people.
Yep. You don't own it anymore.
Yeah. But, my prediction is that at some point, speaking of owning things, Proteus Vex is going to own that ass of Co-Andrum.
It always comes back to that, doesn't it, for us?
What do you think about these off-world scorchers we got here? These more dangerous, more fast and trim. I call them mod scorchers. They're like mod scorchers.
I get a feeling we're going to figure out where that came from, and it's probably got something to do with that oversized scorcher that I saw Jake post last year.
Yeah, you've been hanging on to that one, man. Hopefully that's something that made the final cut.
The scorchers were so interesting, and like the heat they have with Proteus, we got in Another Dawn when they first met. I've wanted to see that like play out, because we know at the end of Another Dawn, it said that Proteus Vex and the Scorchers had an uneasy understanding of each other later on, past all that. So maybe we'll get to see the happening of some of that here in this chapter.
You know what I'm really hoping for, Johnny? Hoping for that we see something that fits in a tiny spot on my arm. Because let me tell you, I've got a spot on my arm here that needs a thing. It needs a Proteus Vex thing, and we can't figure out what to put there. We're in a spot.
You've got your flesh pilot, right?
I've got my flesh pilot. Yes.
You've got a midnight.
Got a midnight. Yeah.
What if you just put Coandrum's Badonkadonk?
That's not a bad idea. The problem is Coandrum also has a lot of white. White's hard.
Well, so do you, so it'll work.
It's true. I don't know. That would be personally very funny to just get Coandrum's ass tattooed on me. It's not the thing that the creators of this comic ever intended to be a takeaway. But
Michael Carroll's gonna just hear this and go, "I'm not talking to these American dipshits again."
Yeah,
they're totally missing the point of everything.
Yeah, you're giving me thoughts. I don't know. I'll have to go and see. Can you fit an ass here? At this point, I'm just throwing my whole life away. Let's do it.
Throwing my ass away.
Yo, Proteus Vex rules. Welcome to the chat, Douglas. A little bit late. Doesn't matter. We've been months late before, so you're okay.
So then we got the order.
Yes, the order. This week in the order, a melted porridge buckethead monster man
talks to space whales.
Shoots space whales with a choo-choo train driver and someone who may or may not be Francis fucking Bacon. And
that's all we got. I got nothing, man. Each week it's such a struggle for me to read the order, because I try to hang on and I just get to the end every week and go, I got nothing.
Yeah, man, I'm the same way. It's just a struggle. It's a fucking struggle. I think last week I broke down and I said I hate the order. Then this week I was reading and I was like, do I hate it or do I just not get it? I don't know. I don't want to not cover the order because that's what we do here, but I got nothing.
Yeah, man, I try to find some attachment this week. And I was like, okay, space whales. All right, there's the Forge Robot Man. Okay, there's a robot owl. All right, they're riding whales into space. Maybe if I was high, this would make more sense. Man, this is not going to land for us North Americans. We didn't pay attention to this much history.
There's not an alien ass in it, number one. So here's the thing though. Earlier in Proteus Vex, way back in the day, we got space dolphins. They were like, bro, they're fucking space dolphins. This is the greatest thing ever. And now we got space whales, and we're like, seen it.
Yeah, but nobody's eating these space whales in mass, so that's my problem.
Yeah. So that's what I got on the order. That's what you got on the order. Let's move on to the other content that we're both very excited to talk about.
We are. There was action this week. This one hasn't hooked me, and I think it's because it lacks the Farrell and Foe tongue-in-cheekedness.
Yeah, which it's in a rough spot because it can't have the tongue-in-cheekiness, because then we'll be like, we've seen it. Again, I'm going to keep going with this. I know this is not the truth. I know this is not what's happening, but I want this to tie in with Farrell and Foe, and then we'll get all excited and go reread it.
I don't think that's going to happen.
This guy, this space orc, he could 100% hang in the Farrell and Foe universe. Art-wise,
I think he may be a little serious and grim for that universe.
Well, he could be their tank, and then he would probably die after 5 seconds.
I don't know if we're going to bring that joke back.
I want it again.
The first chapter of the new Farrell and Foe better be a memoriam to Crod.
He was a good man, Crod. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So we did find out though that old this orc was just an orc. Apparently he's got some alien beings inside of him. Is that what you got from this?
Which orc wear what? Alien B? No. I think the green fellas or ladies or whatever they are at the end here. Is that what you're talking about?
No. Our protagonist, the orc with the big badass sword, his powers. What I gathered from this were that his powers come from an alien sort of technology or an alien presence. I don't know where I read that or saw that in here, but
I think he just got fun time magical armor. I don't think he's got medieval flesh violence. I could have missed that though. I was kind of detached by the time I got here.
Yeah, this one, and also, this one might be one that once we get a little bit further in, start to hook into it. Yeah, for sure. But Kingmaker wasn't hitting for me, and man, I will say, Sapphire really kind of, if in nothing else this week, Sapphire gave me a lot of questions.
Yeah, it's definitely 2080. Like, it's quintessentially British comics. Toulouse-Lautrec is in here now, riding a giant dog. There's a dream baby. This thing just it's weird to be weird.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here I have a few issues here, really. All right, so our virgin hero guy, this nerd, this dude who is definitely the hero of the story, who's terribly inept hero, but that's fine. That's what he does. So he had a dream baby with hot lady here, right? But
yes,
he had no choice in the matter, right? He pulled the cork on the champagne wine bottle, whatever, and when her aura came out, or her essence, it joined with his essence, and he got her pregnant with a dream baby. Now, this was not his choice. This was against his will. It's 2022. Is this a case of dream rape?
Look, if I had a dime for every time I saw this particular story play out on Maury, he is the father.
Well, and then so here's the thing. Here's what happens. She's like, yeah, we're having a dream kid together. And he's like, oh my God, I didn't want this. We didn't. And also he's like, I'm a huge virgin dork and we didn't even get to have sex. And now I got to pay child support. And then she goes, essentially, and I'm paraphrasing here, don't worry. Your sperm essence was mixed with the sperm essence of 1,000 other people from 1,000 other planets. So it's only like 1/1,000,000th your baby. So he basically participated in the world's largest gangbang and has nothing to show for it other than a baby, dream baby, that he's going to have to be responsible for, pay child support for, whatever.
I have absolutely nothing that I can add to that succinct review of this week's chapter of Sapphire.
I mean, I'm just saying things got a little bit convoluted this week. But you know what? He's one of those guys. Johnny, where, she just comes out here and she says, the dream baby is yours. He doesn't ask for any sort of paternity, dream magic paternity test. He's not asking for any sort of lie detector. But guess what? Old fucking bald ass Boba Fett looking dude here comes rolling in. Book of Boba Fett. That Boba Fett comes rolling in. And then this guy's out here talking about, sir, I'm protecting this baby and all this shit. And lo and behold, who knows whose baby it is? Maybe it's Baldy's baby. I don't know.
What do you got against bald people tonight? Good Lord.
I'm just saying, this guy looks like
Jesus. I feel personally attacked.
No, I'm saying this guy looks like that bitch ass broken Boba Fett bullshit that they've been playing out there on fucking Disney Plus.
Oh, I'm glad everybody stopped by tonight for HMK's review of the Book of Boba Fett.
I've never seen it. I'll tell you why. Because Boba Fett's fucking old and bald. Why you gotta bring bald into it? I told someone this week that shit looks like a Disney minus show. That's what the channel it needs to be on. Fucking Disney minus. That's what that shit is.
Just let people enjoy the thing they enjoy.
Yo, listen. I didn't start reading 2000 AD to not get on my high horse about how it's so much better than every other type of media. Although, if the later third of this book is any indication, I don't know. It's in this Boba Fett world. Although, I'll say if I had a favorite, it's Sapphire right now of these later three. What about you?
I I don't have any strong attachment to anything that's not Proteus, Vex, or Dredd right now in the Prog. I really don't, and I hate that we're here. But I'm going to be honest. They're not. I'm not saying they're terrible. They're just not doing it for me, brother.
How would you feel if it turned out that the baby was part yours?
I don't give a shit. I make that kid.
That's what I'm saying. Now that's how you should react when some fucking ghost space bimbo comes and tries to tell you that, oh yeah, by the way,
I believe that was the working title for
babies
this.
Are yours. No,
that was the working title for this. Ghost Space Bimbo.
Man, I don't know what's going on here in this story, but I will say, of all the final three, this is the one that like I'm with it. I'm not hating this one. I'm with it. It's got enough that it's been kind of entertaining, at least in the fact that we can speculate as to whether or not this was a case of manipulation on her part just to get that child support money. Who knows, Johnny?
You're really on this child support angle.
I'm just saying, okay, when they zoom out, right, and there's a million planets. There's so many fucking planets where she's like, a little bit of cum from each one of these planets went inside me.
I don't think that's what she said at all.
Made our baby. And then he's like this, oh, your planet's beautiful. Motherfucker, you need to be asking the real question. How many people on how many planets are you charging child support for and making a lot of money from some baby that we have not even really seen? This is like a fantasy dream baby. You know what I'm saying? It's like me coming over. It's like me coming over and I'm saying like, hey man, guess what? What? Me and my wife, we just had a baby. Can you why don't you get me something for the baby shower? And you're like, where is it? I'm like, it's a dream baby. Don't worry about it. It sounds like bullshit to me. I'm going to say the twist ending of this one, there is no baby.
I'm going to say I did not expect any of this tonight. Wow.
And then at the end of this thing, and that's what I'm saying, at the end of this thing, right when the hard questions need to be fucking asked, guess what happens? Fucking Lex Luthor Boba Fett comes in here. There's a bunch of skeletons. A dog morphs into some sort of werewolf, and they ride off onto an adventure. When really, I'd say, no, I'm sorry. I'm not going off on an adventure. We're having a ghost paternity test. Call in the fucking exorcist. Let's do it.
I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing.
All right. Well, I guess we'll find out what happens. But I'm saying, like, I'm invested in Sapphire.
You're invested in your read on Sapphire, not so much what's happening actually in Sapphire, but what you perceive to be happening in Sapphire.
I'm in it for the drama. I'm in it for the baby mama drama. I'm in it for the space baby child support drama. Every week when Sapphire comes on, I get my curlers in my hair and I'm like, leave me alone. I'm watching my stories.
I'm watching my space stories.
I'm watching my space stories, kids. So Dredd came to an end, right? That's the end.
We're gonna do one next week.
Oh man. Also, by the way, I know if you're wondering where we found out this week. Sorry, it was a long way around what I was gonna say.
Sure was.
We found out this week that Jake Lynch, our friend Jake Lynch, is back on Judge Dredd for the magazine. So if you want to stay up with the lynchisms here, go follow. Keep your eyes out for that. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, Johnny. I don't know.
Wow, you're just falling down the mountain, bud.
Jake Lynch is working on Judge Dredd magazine. So
Jake Lynch drew the picture.
I'm hoping he joins us for the return of Carl the Viking.
Stop it. Get out of here, Carl the Viking.
That's it. That's all I got, other than to say that Durham Red Born Bad is also available under the latest releases out here. So
you're struggling.
I am struggling. I loved that one though. The last time Durham Red showed up in the Prog, it became one of my very favorites. So I'm kind of excited for that.
Yeah, bring that back. Where's that? Where's Durham at? That's the problem. I'm uninterested in the back 3/5 of the Prog, and all my brain can say is, there's so many other things I would rather have plugged in right here, right now.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is we know that eventually they'll be there.
Yeah. So, what do you think about 2000 AD? You don't like what's in the Prog? Wait a couple weeks.
Yeah. Fantastic time to be a 2000 AD fan, as always. Some weeks are better than others, but there was some good stuff in this one. And like I said, I'm here for Sapphire. I'm on it. I'm on board with it. So
some weeks are better than others, but every week is better with your two best friends in the whole wide world. Cool Johnny Cool.
Heavy Metal Kid.
And this has been Wiener.